So today we're going to talk about whether do carbs make you fat, the real truth behind carbs, and why they're important, despite the fact how people just put like a negative connotation behind them. But if that was true, every person who eats carbs on a daily basis would weigh a lot more than they actually do. And I'll explain the more reason why people typically struggle when it comes to like eating carbs and other things, right? Perfect example, donuts, rice, pasta, bread, you name it, like that's typically the type of carbs people like to eat on a day-to-day basis. Now, let me preface by saying carbs do make the scale go up, but there's a difference. It's water weight, not actual fat. Perfect example is I went to a Chinese buffet 2 days ago and I had like a bunch of General Toast with chicken, chicken wings, fried rice, shrimp rolls, plantain. It was great, but quite easily, I probably consumed over like 300 grams of carb. Like, I'm gonna use a personal story, so hopefully this can be like more relatable to you guys. And when I took the scale the next day, I'm up 4 pounds. Now, granted, I was in a calorie surplus, but I also worked out that day, so it's not necessarily that I'm eating so much like carbs to the point where it's like, oh, George, you're just eating for the sake of eating, and there's nothing else. But when you do eat carbs, your muscles just restoring glycogen, and glycogen pulls water from your muscle. So when the scale goes up, obviously, which is why like I really and truly, the more into like fitness and like I help people with the weight loss journeys. Like people like panic because like our biggest metric when it comes to like this, our weight is the scale, but your muscles are being filled up as you're eating them. So if carbs don't make you fat, what does? Stay with me now. So fat gain comes when you eat more calories than what you burn. Not carbs, not fats, not bread, not protein, not none of that. Perfect example is, right? Let's say someone's maintenance is 3,000 calories. And for the next month, they decide to eat 3,500 calories. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to what? Gain weight. Exactly. Now, let's say, for example, that same person, their maintenance is 3,000 calories, right? But they decide for a month straight, they're going to eat 2,000 calories only. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to lose weight, meaning you can't necessarily like gain like you can't blame carbs for whatever like weight loss you whatever fat gain or weight loss you end up going through, right? It's not it's not the type of food you're eating, it's the amount of food you're eating. So essentially what people really should be saying is, oh, it's not the carbs that are eating, it's just how much calories you're consuming. Perfect example is like if you eat 10,000 calories, what do you think is going to happen to you? You're going to gain some type of weight, no? So the three reasons why people love to lean carbs, they're easy to overeat. A perfect example is someone can eat a whole party bag of Lay's, like and consume that in what the span of like 10 to 15 minutes, and that's for like what 1,000 calories easily. Like highly processed carbs are palatable, meaning you can just consume them without even having like a thought in your head. Perfect cookies, chips, cereal, pancakes. I can't really think of foods right now, but like you get the general gist. Another thing too, carbs will increase water retention, which is one of my biggest issues. Because like what I used to do before, I used to really eat late at night, so I'd like make sure I'm eating in the calories, but at the same time, I'm eating at 10. I'm eating at like 11, 12. I'm going to bed by 1, and when I check the scale the next morning, I'm still the same. It's like my food, the food didn't go anywhere. Then my scale, not the food, sorry. The scale didn't go anywhere. And it's because, like, why would it? Like, you're still essentially the same size. Like, your food, yeah, it's so important that people also let food digest. I think I need to make a whole other video on why, like, digestion itself is important and why, like, it's not good to eat, then go straight to bed. So, that was a whole tangent. But, like, if you guys actually do want that digestion video, let me know. So, low carb diets do work at first because it's like how people do keto. Like there was a certain time in my life where I was really contemplating doing keto just because I was really tired of seeing the scale. But at the same time, you see the number on the scale drop. You think, oh, my scale number is going down, meaning I'm doing something right. But no, long term carbs help with your workout, helps you think, helps you like it's important to our day-to-day lives, right? So long term carbs are beneficial, but I'll go more into detail about that. Now if you eat the right carbs, You train harder, you recover faster, you build more muscle, and you burn more calories overall. Perfect example is, right? Some of my best workouts I've eaten, like, a matter of fact, I don't think I posted it for you guys, but literally before I worked out, I had a halal, no, I had a lamb gyro, like I think an hour before I deadlifted 600 pounds. So quite literally, carbs isn't the issue. It's when you do it, you like, realistically, what you'd want to do, you wouldn't have carbs before you work out, carbs after you work out. You want to have that small window of when you can like have carbs. Because like, if you like try to space it out too much, well, no, if you just have carbs for the sake of having carbs, it's gonna backfire, obviously. But that's like anything in life. Like if you just do it for the sake of doing it, you're not gonna go anywhere with that. Now, let's talk about what you should be having. Like how many carbs you should be having. If you stayed this long in the video, I do appreciate you. Now, for anyone trying to lose weight, 1 to 2 grams per body weight is a good range depending on your intensity. So, perfect example of me, right? So, let's say I'm 200 pounds. That means I should be having anywhere between 200 to 400 grams. Now, that's a big range, but carbs are like important. Now, if you train hard like I do, I go a little on the higher end, meaning like 400. If you just train like recreationally, probably closer to lower on the end of 200. Now, long story short, do carbs make you fat? No. Overeating makes you fat, meaning calories. So if you eat more calories, you're gonna gain weight. Carbs only like make us look bad is because like water retention, and it's easy to overeat on carbs. So long story short, it's not about avoiding carbs. It's about choosing the right ones and staying in control of what you eat. Now, if you guys want me to go into depth on anything else, let me know. But I hope this helps.